All right, welcome back. Today, we're jumping right into a huge shift happening at the very center of how we use the internet. We're talking about the evolution of search. This is something that's going to redefine how we find things, who we trust, and ultimately how any brand or creator gets seen online. This isn't some small update. It is a total rewrite of the rules. For as long as most of us can remember, the internet started with one simple thing, a list of about 10 blue links. That was it. That was the gateway to everything. Well, I'm here to tell you that world, that whole era we grew up with, it's gone, it's over. And really letting that sink in is the first step to figuring out what on earth to do next. The game has totally changed. And look, this isn't just a hunch or some marketing buzz. The data is crystal clear. Even back in 2019, way before this latest AI explosion, more than half of all Google searches ended right there on the results page. Nobody clicked a link. Over 50%. And newer studies just confirm it. So the journey was already stopping at Google, and that was before AI summaries showed up to pour gasoline on the fire. So how did we even get here? Well, this wasn't an accident. It was a very deliberate, decade-long project. Google has been methodically changing its search page from, a simple list of links into an answer surface that tries to solve your problem on the spot. You can actually see the breadcrumbs if you look back. It started quietly in 2012 with the knowledge graph. Then, boom, 2014, we get featured snippets, that little answer box right at the top. A year later, the local 3-pack completely took over for any local search. Every single one of these changes was a stepping stone, training us to want answers, not links, leading us right to where we are today with AI overviews. The big idea that made all of this possible was this shift from strings to things. See, old search engines just matched the string of letters you typed. But with the knowledge graph, Google started to understand real-world things, people, places, ideas. So when you searched for, say, Marie Curie, you didn't just get websites that mentioned her name. You got a box of facts, her birthday, what she discovered, who she married, right there. Understanding concepts, not just words, was the foundation for everything that came next. And all those little changes, the knowledge graph, the snippets, the local packs, they all added up and pushed us straight into what we're now calling the zero-click reality. It sounds a bit dramatic, I know, but it's simple. It's a world where your customer's journey starts and more often ends right on Google's search results page. Which brings us to right now. AI overviews are making this zero-click world the new normal, and it's happening fast. As of March 2025, one big study found AI overviews on about 13% of searches, and that number had doubled in just 2 months. Another study from Pew found it was even higher, closer to 18%. So yeah, a huge and growing chunk of what people discover online is now being filtered through an AI. So what does this actually mean for anyone trying to get found online? Well, the goal has fundamentally changed. The old goal was simple: get ranked, get your blue link as high on that list as possible. The new goal? It's being cited. Your success now depends on an AI picking your content as the trusted source for its answer. A click is worth less, but being named as the source of truth in that AI summary, that is the new gold. Okay, this new world obviously needs a whole new playbook. I mean, if the goal is to get cited by an AI, how do you actually do that? This brings us to a whole new discipline, a new way of thinking we have to get good at. Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO. So what the heck is GEO? You can think of it like this. It's the strategy of getting all your digital stuff, your website, your articles, your data, ready to be picked, understood, and quoted correctly by AI systems. And this isn't just a Google thing, right? We're talking about ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, any AI that people are asking for answers. And the tactics are completely different. Old SEO was often about tricks, stuffing keywords, chasing backlinks. Geo is about fundamentals. It's about semantic clarity, making sure a machine can't possibly misunderstand you. It's about structured facts, giving it info that's easy to pull out. It's less about gaming the algorithm and more about genuinely making it smarter. Now, to really get how Geo works, you need to know this one acronym, RAG. It stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. The easiest way to think about RAG is as the AI's personal research assistant. Instead of just making stuff up or hallucinating, RAG forces the AI to go look up facts in a trusted library of documents. This keeps the answers grounded in reality, and super importantly, it allows the AI to cite its sources. It can show its work, and that's how we trust it. Okay, so that's the what and the why. Let's get to the important part, the how. How do you actually do this stuff? We've broken it down into 5 clear, practical steps. This is the new roadmap for anyone who wants to win in this new world. So here's the roadmap. It's a full strategy in 5 parts. First, you have to design for answers. Second, you got to build your entity graph. Third, publish in structured formats. Fourth, measure your AI visibility. And fifth, create RAG-ready knowledge. Let's walk through each one. Okay, step 1. This is a big one. It's about changing how we create content. You have to write for a pattern. Question, claim, proof. The AI needs to see the question, see your content make a claim as the answer, and then find the proof to back it up. In practice, that means answer the question right away in plain English. Use simple formats like tables and checklists. Machines love those. And for goodness sake, back up everything you say with data and citations. Step 2 is about building your entity graph. Just think of it as your brand's digital DNA. It's a map that clearly tells AIs who you are, what you do, and why you're an authority. You do this with simple things, like using consistent names online. But the big tool here is something called schema.org markup. It's like adding little labels to your website's code that tell the AI, hey, this is our company, this is a product, or this is an expert. You're building a clear, trustworthy identity. Step 3 is all about making your content easy for a machine to grab and reuse. The key is to think in small, modular chunks. So instead of one massive article, break it up. Create little fact sheets and FAQ pages. And don't forget your other media. Put good descriptions on your images. Provide full transcripts for your audio and video. The reason is simple. Small, well-defined bits of info are way easier for an AI to grab and quote confidently. Now, step 4 might be the biggest mental shift for a lot of us. We have to change how we measure success. We just can't keep staring at website visits and PageRank. That's an old metric for an old world. The new critical numbers are AI citations and your win rate. You need to be asking, which AIs are mentioning our brand? For which questions are we the source? This is the real report card for your brand's influence now. And finally, step 5. This is all about trust. You have to create a RAG-ready knowledge base. That means you host the official, definitive documents, your product specs, your pricing, your policies. And these documents need a clear history. Who wrote it? When was it updated? The whole point is to make your data so clean and trustworthy that an AI's RAG system feels totally safe grabbing it and knows it'll be accurate when it's quoted. This is how you control your own story. So just as we're all trying to get our heads around this whole AI answers thing, the next wave is already building, and it might be even bigger. Because AI isn't just going to stop at answering our questions. It's starting to do things for us. We're shifting from a passive know-it-all to an active do-it-all. And that's the big question, right? What happens when the AI doesn't just tell you about the best flight, but it actually goes and books it for you? Or when it doesn't just list product features, but it clicks buy now? We're talking about the rise of AI agents that can take a complex goal and just go execute all the steps for you. And this is not some far-off future. Think about an AI agent that plans and books your entire vacation. Or in e-commerce, one that compares product specs, reads reviews, finds a coupon code, and buys the thing for you. In business, it could be an agent that reads through 1,000 pages of policy to draft a contract. These agents are going to interact with the world on our behalf, and they're going to be incredibly fast and efficient. So if these AI agents are going to be doing the work, it gives us all a very clear mission. Your content has to be ready for agents that act, not just for users who read. It has to be so clear, so structured, so unambiguous that a machine can make a decision based on it, confidently. Now, look, I know these 5 steps. Designing for answers, building your entity graph. It can all seem like a ton of work, especially if you're a small team. And that's where new tools come in. Systems and platforms, like the one you can check out at cmo.so, are being built specifically for this new world. They can help automate a lot of this stuff, the markup, the content structuring, the new analytics, so you can actually make this happen at scale. And that really brings us to the last big thought. This whole thing, it's not just about search results. It's about what it means to be a trusted source of knowledge. When an AI uses your data to form an answer, it's essentially calling it truth. So the real question I want to leave you with is this. What are you going to do to make sure your brand, your ideas, your expertise become a fundamental, trusted piece of the world's knowledge for AI? How will you become foundational? That's the challenge ahead for all of us.